A section of the USA Patriot Act expires on Sunday, and lawmakers still haven't decided what, if anything, to do about it. Section 215, according to The Hill, quote, has been used by law enforcement almost 200 times per year to collect bank and business records from suspected terrorists and spies. But privacy advocates have long denounced the invasive nature of the law into the lives of innocent and ordinary Americans. The USA Freedom Act was intended to address some of the concerns, but activists celebrated when the Senate failed to pass it on a procedural vote. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has scheduled a rare Sunday vote on the measure to try to pass it once more, and the House already passed the bill. The Senate will also consider a bill introduced by Senator Dianne Feinstein, who has been a strong proponent of the government's right to spy on Americans. Feinstein's bill criminalizes whistleblowers and is being likened to the Espionage Act. Meanwhile, the Obama administration, panicking at the idea that it might lose some legal justification for mass surveillance, accused lawmakers of playing, quote, national security Russian roulette with the Patriot Act. My guest is Marcy. She is a journalist specializing in national security issues, the war on terror, and civil liberties. She has a column on exposefacts.org called Right to Know. Welcome to the show, Marcy.
Thanks for having me.
So what exactly has Section 215 enabled the government to do, and why is that section sunsetting now, but not the entire Patriot Act?
So when it was instituted, it was a new thing, and Congress was worried it could be used to get things like library records, which it can, with some special reporting requirements. And so they included a sunset on it just so that Congress could review it from time to time to make sure it hadn't been abused. There are actually 3 things that are expiring on Monday, and that's just one of them. But people know it best as the authorization for the phone dragnet, for the government's effort to collect every single American's phone records, the records of who they call, when, how long they're on the phone, what handset they use when they do it. And that's been in place since 2006, but the Hill piece that you quoted actually is misleading because the most common use of it now, in addition to this phone dragnet, is to collect fairly bulky internet collections. So it might be that it is collecting the records of anybody coming into or out of a frequent cyber attack target, including innocent people. It might be collecting the records of a particular internet service provider. So it's collecting everybody's phone records, or at least everybody's landline and anything that crosses AT&T's backbone. But it's also being used for, the most of what it's used for is actually very bulky collection. And so it picks up the records of completely innocent people and leaves them in NSA or more often FBI's databases for up to 30 years.